Welcome back to Reading Bear. Today, we will take a look at some new I Don't Work Here Lady stories. And if you enjoyed my content, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and post some bear emojis in the comments. Let's go!
The first one is titled, Sorry, I Don't Work Here. Okay, let's just say I'm very short for my age. I was at my local Target with my niece, who we'll call Diana. For a bit of context, I was coming right from volunteer work at the animal shelter. I love animals, kind of my soft spot, and I picked up Diana from her school. She wanted to go to the toy section and I agreed to buy her something small. While I'm joking around with my girlfriend, who was with us, Diana comes up to us with one of those LOL dolls. We agree it's alright for her to get it and start walking over to the food. My girlfriend separates from us to get some vitamins. Here's where the drama comes up. "K, excuse me ma'am." I turned around to see a woman with her 3 kids, yes, a typical Karen. "L, oh, I'm sorry, do you need to get by me?" "K, no. I need you to tell me where the laundry detergent is." I was obviously confused because I don't even look like I work there. I was wearing a shirt with Todoroki on it and jeans. I'm a big weeb. Not a uniform. "L, I'm sorry, I don't work here. I think somebody who does work here is in the next aisle though." "D, Auntie Lemon? Who is this?" "K, get your brat to shut up." Diana and I were absolutely shocked. Diana started to cry and my girlfriend, let's call her Remy, bends down to comfort her. "Ah, Gia, it's all right. She didn't mean to hurt your feelings." "L, what is wrong with you? I don't work here all right." "K, yes you do. Let me see your manager." "L, I don't have a manager ma'am. For the last time, I don't work here." At this point an employee came over. "E, is there a problem ladies?" "K, yes. She isn't letting me see her manager. Call him over." Let me make this clear, the manager is a woman. Not a man. "E, she's on a business call but I can get." "K, get the manager already." I was helping Remy calm down Diana at the time and the employee looked like he was about to throw the Karen into a wall. "E, fine, fine. Don't blame me if she kills you." The manager came walking over, clearly annoyed. "M, what's going on ma'am?" "K, you need to fire these two." "E, M, not you, I was talking to this young lady." I summed up what happened to the manager. I'm too lazy to write it all out. "K, she's lying." "M, ma'am, I'm going to have to tell you to leave the store." Keep in mind she had 3 kids who looked at least 10-15 each and looked embarrassed AF. In the end she left and Diana got an extra toy. Karen, if you're seeing this, duck you. The next one is titled, A Short But Not So Sweet IDWH. I work graveyard shifts at one of the properties in downtown Las Vegas. This was just after I clocked out one morning, a couple of months before the whole virus thing went down. I was walking along Fremont when some big fat duck, becomes relevant in a bit, asked me about something concerning a property I don't work at. I told him that I don't know about that property as I don't work there, but I was more than happy to walk him over and find someone there that could answer his question. Dude went from chill to absolute douche canoe in a heartbeat and started to berate me under the assumption that since I worked at one property, I have to have knowledge about the other. Couldn't get a word in edgewise until he closed with, "You're a ducking prick." To which I replied after looking him up and down, "What? Been so long since you've seen yours you forgot what one looks like, eh? Remember that shade of red in the animated Attack of the Killer Tomatoes?" Yeah, that was his face. I waved him off and made my way to the bus stop. The next one is titled, Hard Hat and Reflective Vest is apparently the new dress code for fast food employees. This happened a few hours ago. A week ago, a construction company I occasionally work for got a contract to repair a bridge over an exit of a highway. They contacted me to be nurse on site for the crew. We started Monday and quickly found out that for coffee and lunch, somebody would have to go 3 kilometers away to nearest rest stop where a cafe and the Golden Arches are. Usually, either me or the foreman would go during the break with all the orders. Today it was my turn. We had to break early, because the crew had to work near a high-voltage pylon and we were waiting for the power company. So I take everyone's order, jump in my car and drive to the rest stop. Due to force of habit, I'm still wearing my reflective vest with first aid with black letters on the back and have my hard hat with me. And I took my hard hat with me, again from force of habit. As I'm waiting on the line for the Golden Arches, the foreman calls me to say there was a mix-up with the paperwork for temporarily cutting power from the pylon, so we were shutting down for the day. They couldn't work around the pylon, because it was on the final part to repair. So, the orders are cancelled, but I decide to grab a coffee and relax a bit before heading home. I grab my coffee from the cafe. Mickey D's coffee is like making love in a canoe, and head to the outside tables. In order to go to the patio, I have to pass from the fast food tables. And then when I hear the dreaded neck clearing and a shrill voice saying, "Excuse me." I keep walking and I hear it again, louder this time, and a hand grabbing my arm. I turn around and look at her arm. She gets the hint and removes it. She is in her late 40s, early 50s, with the classic haircut associated with Karens but with a bad red dye job, expensive trashy clothes, big sunglasses and, thank God, a mask. She stands around 5 feet 2 inches to 5 feet 3 inches. I, on the other hand, am 6 feet 3 inches, wearing a blue polo shirt, jeans, safety boots, a Bluetooth earpiece, my vest and the hat on a clip on my belt. The Arches employees wear red polos with the emblem in gold on the left side, while the cafe's employees wear black pants, white shirts and brown aprons. Me is me, K is Karen, M is manager, F is foreman. K, where is my order? Me, I honestly have no idea. K, what? I placed it 10 minutes ago. Starting to getting angry, me, sorry, but I don't work here. And I try to leave. She grabs my arm again. I turn around and I'm getting a bit angry. K, I demand to bring me my order, still grabbing me. Me, remove your hand, I reply with anger slipping in my voice. She complies and I walk away. Karen follows me outside. K, this is no way to treat a customer. She shouts. I demand to speak with you, manager. Me, I already told you I don't work here. K, oh, well, she about that, she says and starts yelling, manager. Manager. Well, speak of devil and he will appear. The manager of the Mickey D steps outside to see what the commotion is all about. At the same time, the foreman had the same idea as me and had just stepped onto the patio. He sees what's happening and makes a beeline to me. He asks what happened. The manager is trying to calm Karen down, to no avail. K, I demand you to fire him. She screamed, pointing at me. He was rude and declined to help me. The manager looks at me, my clothes and back at Karen. M, madam, he does not work here. He has a safety vest and a hard hat, which are not part of our dress code. He is just a client like you. F, and he makes much better burgers than this joint. My foreman adds, making 3 of us laugh. Karen looked at us, then at the manager and then stomped off. The foreman got a coffee and we chilled for a bit before heading home. So, another day, another IDWH, first for the month. Edit, because a lot of people are asking in the comments, the phrase is, this coffee is like making love in a canoe. It's too bloody close to water. And in my country at least, that goes for every fast food chain's coffee, not just Mickey D. On the other hand, their ice cream machines always work here. The next one is titled, I haven't worked here since 2008. I was reading something else and it reminded me of this. In 2005 I took an office job, my first really job, at the age of 17. I was a bit rough around the edges and my very kind boss made me a swear jar to remind me not to swear at the customers. I could swear at the paperwork as much as I wanted. By 2007 the jar had about $90 in it and I realized I didn't need it anymore. I hadn't put money into it in months, so I decided to donate the money to a charity. They're a pretty well-known charity. A few weeks later I receive a letter thanking me for my donation and asking me to sign up for a $15 per month ongoing donation. I ignored the letter. 6 weeks after that letter, another one arrives full of fancy custom-made stickers with my name and phone number on them for me to use. For only $12 per month they'll send me more every month. No thanks. I pack the letter up and send it back to them, return to sender. This begins to happen like clockwork, every 4 to 6 weeks another letter asking for a donation. My boss is watching this play out to see how I handle it, having a good laugh at my expense. So I call them and politely explain that it was a one-off donation and I won't be making further donations. I even explain about the swear jar and how it helped me, and think that's the end of it. By the time I left my job there in mid-2008 I was receiving and returning 1 letter every 4 weeks, receiving 2 phone calls a week, an email a week, and also text messages. Eventually I moved house, blocked their emails, changed my number, and forgot about it. Boss and I are still friends now in 2020. I tracked down a former coworker through her and they told me that when they left in 2015 I was still receiving letters at my old work address, and despite them all being sent back as "no longer at this address" mail, it just kept coming. The business moved, but I guess that didn't stop the charity from still sending me mail at that address. I imagine they've used my $90 donation several times over trying to get me to give them more money, and I've never donated to them again because they're so bloody annoying. I don't work here. Stop sending me mail. The next one is titled, "I saved a sales assistant from a Karen. She then stalked me for over an hour." So this happened about 5 years ago. Now I had worked at this exact store previously, so I was familiar with how the system worked. We have me, 23F, Karen, 40s, F, and the sales assistant, SA, late teens, early 20s SM. I was waiting in line at a well-known book, stationery store in my local mall, buying a card and gift wrap. Karen was in front of me, arguing with the boy at the register because she wanted to know if they had a book in stock. The book was in stock, but only available when ordered from the online store, as it was old and no longer being sold in store. So Karen would need to purchase it herself, online. When ordering from this company's online store, it will be shipped to the address of your choice via courier. Of course, this comes with additional shipping costs. Karen, however, seemed to think this meant he could order the book in and she would be able to pick it up the next day. That is not the case, as the stores, while operating under the same company name, are completely different. Thus the argument begins. Karen: "Well, can't you just order it in?" SA: "Sorry, our system doesn't allow us to do that." Karen: "Yes it does, I've done it before." SA: "Sorry, since the company is under new ownership, all stores are separate now, including the online store." Karen: "It's the same company, you're just being lazy." SA: "Sorry, you will need to order it yourself online." They went back and forth a couple of times before I spoke up. Me: "He's right, that's not how the system works." Karen turns, glares at me and says, "Do you work here?" Me: "No, I did work here a year ago, that's how I know how the system works." Karen: "But you work in the mall." She then proceeds to look over my clothes for a name tag or uniform logo. Me: "Nope, nice try though." As I unzip my jacket so she can get a better look at my civvies. Karen: "Well, where do you work?" Me: "That's literally none of your business." Karen: "Yes it is, your employer should know how you behave in public." Me: insert surprised Pikachu face. Me: "Actually that's not how the world works, lady." At this point you could see the rage building inside her as she realized she had no power over me. I too noticed at this point that I was in a unique position, where I could call this lady out for basically being a butthole and there's nothing she can do about it, or so I thought. Karen, with a smug look on her face, then says, "Well, you probably don't even have a job." Me: "Yeah, I'm not falling for that." She was obviously trying to bait me into telling her, "Me, you can think what you want, lady, but at the end of the day I'm not the pathetic person whose only sense of control in the world is threatening a person's livelihood to get what they want." Me: "You know you're a bad person, right?" Karen, absolutely fuming at this point, storms off. I then proceed to pay for my card and gift wrap, while having a laugh with the SA at the register about what just happened. Now you would think this is the end of my encounter with Karen, but oh no. She still thinks I work in the mall. So as I leave the store, I stop and get a coffee from the small kiosk cafe just outside. I noticed Karen was watching me. And I crap you not, this psycho continued to follow me into every single store I entered and asked the person behind the register if I worked there. At this point I was thinking I can't go back to my car because she will get my license plate numbers and be able to look up my information. Then FB stalked me. I ended up calling a taxi and going to see my dad, who lived about 10 minutes up the road, and got him to take me back to my car an hour later. Sorry kinda long, but this was my best Karen, I don't work here lady encounter. Edit: I should also note that if Karen hadn't turned feral the moment I spoke to her, there was a way we could have ordered the book for her. We weren't supposed to do this, but when I worked there I would often do this for nice older people who weren't comfortable with online shopping. Keyword nice. We could order the book from the online store using a gift card. So I would sell a gift card with the exact amount needed for the book and shipping and use that for the online store. We could then get the book delivered either to our store or the customer's address. I would then write down their order number and receipt number on the receipt printed for the gift card, along with the expected delivery date, tracking number and a contract number for the online store's help desk. I would then tell them if the book hadn't arrived by the expected date to either call the help number I provided, or they could call our store and ask for me personally and I would call the help number for them. I only did this a handful of times because the district managers didn't like the amount of time it would take to do this. Maybe an extra 15 minutes out of my day. The next one is titled, I'll Try to Lawyer, If You Insist. So this happened in 2015, just a few months after my husband had suddenly passed away. He passed in November of 2014. At the time, I was a bartender and had a small chicken farm. So I worked nights and during the day would tend to my little hobby farm. I say little, I actually had over 50 chickens. This will be important later on in the story. At the time, I had my cell number since about 2011, so about 4 years before I started receiving these calls. Every time an unfamiliar number would come up on my caller ID, it would be a call from someone who was trying to reach a local legal aid attorney, or court-appointed attorney. I would explain that they had the wrong number and most people would apologize and let it go. Sometimes, they would turn around and call right back and again I would tell them, I'm sorry, but you have the wrong number, I am not your attorney. Most of the time, I would let it go to VM and not bother with it, unless they kept calling and then I would let them know they had the wrong number. Again, most people were fine and polite with it. But this one time. CL will be crazy lady that needs an attorney. Imagine that, attorney is the attorney, me is me and the judge is the judge. CL had called several times leaving a VM every time and each and every VM was almost impossible to understand. About all I could understand was that she was trying to reach an attorney and she was becoming increasingly agitated that said attorney was not answering, or returning her calls. Eventually the VMs became screaming rants with a lot of cursing. Remarkably I could understand the curse words. Finally I answer the call, thinking that I would explain to her that she had the wrong number and then maybe, just maybe she would quit calling me every day to leave nasty VMs. Nope. Me hello CL, this is whatever her name was and I've been calling you for weeks now, not true, and you been ignoring me. Me ma'am, I'm sorry, but you have the wrong number and I hang up. She called right back. Again I explain to her that she has the wrong number and she begins to curse and tell me she knows she has the right answer. Click, I hang up again. And wonder of all wonders the nut job calls again. CL, you better not hang up on me again you witch. I know you work for attorney and you are not giving him my messages. Me, ma'am, I don't know that attorney and you have the wrong number, please stop calling me. Click, I hang up again. She calls back again. I didn't realize telling someone they had the wrong number for the umpteenth was so complicated to understand. Guess I was wrong. And she calls again. CL, I have court. It was either the next day or a couple of days after. It's been years, so I don't remember. Anyway, she has court coming up and if said attorney doesn't show up for court she's going to tell the judge that the attorney took her money and have the judge to call me in court and I am going to jail. Okay nut job, whatever. I knew when the number come up on my caller ID that it was a number from the part of the county where the courthouse etc. were located, so I answered. Judge, may I speak with attorney? Me sir, you have the wrong number. Judge, I'm not playing games with you girl, this is judge ____ and I better get the attorney there within a few hours. It was late morning and the lawyer needed to be there by after lunch. Me your honor, I have repeatedly told this lady she has the wrong number. I am not an attorney. I am in fact a bartender at the local honky tonk and I am a hobby chicken farmer. I am not an attorney. Please understand during this there are several roosters in my yard, ducks and guinea fowl. The roosters are having a crowing contest and all the animals are pretty rowdy, it is spring after all. So I continue to explain to the judge that I am not a lawyer and I am up to my elbows in chicken crap cleaning out the coop, which we had been using a deep bed method during the winter and since it was getting warmer, didn't need to keep that much bedding and well it stunk. For the record, every time she called and I answered you could either hear chickens in the background or extremely loud music from the bar where I worked. I continue to explain to him that I am sure that I stink pretty bad and that I didn't know anything about being a lawyer, but I had pretty good knowledge of raising chicken and making drinks. I continued to tell him that I could probably make it there after lunch, but that I really needed to finish cleaning out my coops and would then need to take a shower and get dressed, but if he really needed me to come be a lawyer, I would certainly try. I remember telling him I guess I could lawyer if I tried and that I had done pretty good helping my attorney during my divorce a few years before. I did not even give him time to respond until I said what I had to say. Judge, I don't think that will be necessary, ma'am. I apologize for wasting your time. Do you think you could tell this lady to stop calling me several times a day, because I am tired of being yelled at and cursed out for not being her attorney? I explained to him she had threatened me and harassed me and that I was really tired of it. He assured me he would take care of it. Never heard from CL again and would have completely forgotten this, until I had a VM from someone looking for an attorney. I did later find out from an acquaintance that is an attorney that I do indeed have the number that previously belonged to a legal aid defense attorney. She figured it out when she was programming my phone number in her phone, for totally unrelated business lol. The next one is titled, Customer is angry that the IT guy won't ring her up. I work at an arts and crafts store. We have a lot of candy at the front of the store, including a refrigerator filled with sodas and bottles of water. But a couple months ago it stopped working. We've gotten many complaints, but there was really nothing we could do. We had ordered a new one, but that was on back order or something. IDK exactly what happened to it, none of my business really. So a couple months later, which brings us to last week, an IT guy comes in to fix it. The line starts to get backed up, as it does sometimes, and one lady in line comes to the register right next to the refrigerator. The guy was on the floor at that register trying to find where some cables went through. This is how the exchange went. Customer, excuse me, are you gonna ring me up? I'm sorry ma'am, but I'm fixing the fridge. Customer, well you must be able to use the register, besides I'm in a hurry. Ma'am, I can't help you, I'm not even an employee here. This is when she got really annoyed, telling him, it's just a few items, it'll only take a second, as if that's the problem. We had to call my manager, who luckily has a magical way of calming people. I seriously don't know how he does it. It was too bad, I was hoping someone would have to call the police. The next one is titled, Sure, I'm totally the manager. I debated for a bit on if I was going to post this story here or entitled People. I obviously decided to post it too. I don't work here lady. I work in the IT field for school district and I have to dress business casual. This can have a little bit of leeway to it, but generally I wear some type of tan hiking shoe, 10 cargo pants and either an untucked button-up shirt or I guess what I would call a golf shirt. I suppose that at some stores I could maybe be mistaken for like a manager or something like that, maybe. So I went to Home Depot today because I had to get some wire and some switches and just some random things for work. So I'm walking around with a few things in my hands on this particular day wearing a blue golf shirt. I'm just minding my business when I round the corner and yelling at a kid who clearly doesn't work there. Being a noisy bastard, I decide to listen in from a bit of a distance. Apparently this kid had the audacity to not help her get something off of a shelf, in that he was a disgrace to this store and that if he didn't do something about it she was never going to shop there again. Clearly this was an I don't work here lady moment and I was just enjoying watching it until she looked at me. As soon as she looked at me I could see that evil witch grin form across her nasty lips and her yellow teeth. I'm just imagining the yellow teeth because with everyone wearing masks, you never know. When I hear her saying a loud voice, finally, here comes a manager. I'm going to have you fired. I look behind me real quick just to see if she's referring to me and she was. I do the pointing at my chest questioningly type of move just to make sure she was talking to me. Of course that just annoyed the wild Karen that she responded with something like of course I'm talking to you. So I walk over there kind of enjoying myself at this point. I put on my best customer service face and mocking voice and hit her with a how can I help you today ma'am? Restart ranting and raving about how the kid was so disrespectful and wouldn't help her and about how he's a racist, which kind of threw me off because both of them were white, but whatever. And I swear that if we were not all wearing masks right now, my shirt would have been drenched with spit and probably some denture cream. So I look at this kid who's looking like he's ducking petrified and obviously faking it because he knows I don't work there. I know I don't work there and I clearly know that he doesn't work there. Everybody knows we don't work there except for this lady. So I look at him and I say, you come with me, we're going to handle this out back. How dare you sit there and not take care of a customer? And then I walk away with him. Hey thanks me for getting him out of that situation and then runs off to what I assume was probably his trade boss because the kid looked like a tradesman. Dirty jeans, worn boots. You know the kind of look you just know somebody works in a trade, which makes sense if they're at a Home Depot. So you might be sitting there thinking that the woman is all alone now in the aisle thinking that she has won. From the next aisle I picked over through the shelving and saw that is where she stood for the most boring 15 minutes of this year I have had. You could tell she was just looking around expecting that the manager was going to come back until some portal wearing an orange Home Depot apron walked by and she saw them and yelled out to them. I just walked away because I actually had to get back to work listening to her in utter confusion question about where the manager went. A few minutes goes by and I'm just cashing out in line as the woman runs up to me and demands to know why I just left her in the aisle and starts talking about how I am about a terrible manager and that she wants to talk to the district manager of the store. I just start laughing and while over-exaggeratingly point with both hands to the guy who just finished cashing me out saying that this gentleman here who actually works here can help you out but unfortunately I must go as my actual job needs me. Then I walked away like a ducking idiot and clearly acting like it. It was a kind of thing that in your head it sounds like it's going to be really funny to do and then when you do it you realize just how stupid it was. I thought it was going to be some big comedic action and instead it was just stupid but in a way that's kind of even more funny because now this woman who clearly thought was a mature adult manager just acting like a ducking idiot and then kind of like pranced out the store.